It's looking like Nick Robertson will be staying in Toronto this season and could be the dark horse for the Leafs this season. Plus, Cody Ceci may be the odd man out in Edmonton, with them needing to make a huge trade before the start of the season. And I'm going to break all this stuff down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, just got to say, if you're one of the thousands of people watching our videos that aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you're down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's jump right into the first topic of the video today, which is CC trade imminent. And yes, there has been a lot of stuff going on in Edmonton since they ultimately lost the Cup final. Sorry, Edmonton Oilers fans, but it seems like Cody Ceci is the odd man out in Edmonton. With Edmonton being over the cap, they need to trade somebody off to be cap compliant by the beginning of the season. And we actually have reports of this here on July the 1st from The Athletic. They reported that Edmonton Oilers were over $2.5 million over the salary cap of $88 million for the start of the season. But since then, they have brought those numbers down. In a recent report from Puckpedia, it indicates that they're only $350,000 above the cap. But, you know, that's workable. That's reasonable. But what do they need to do? They have two RFAs that they need to sign. Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg, both due contracts as restricted free agents. So it's looking like Edmonton is going to have to move somebody out so that they can sign these guys from their entry-level deals into their next deal now, since they are RFAs. So it's looking like Cody Ceci is going to be that odd man out here. And this is from David Staples of the Edmonton Journal. He said that Frank Cervelli suggesting Ceci as the likely trade candidate, believing there's a market for him. Staples observed Ceci was among the few Oilers who elevated their game in the playoffs compared to the regular season. So there obviously is going to be a big market out here for Cody Ceci. He was one of the better defensive defenders for Edmonton in this playoffs. So him having that big jump in the playoffs has bumped his value up a little bit, and a lot of teams that are looking to shore up their blue line will be after this guy. And if we just take a look at Cody Ceci's cap hit right now, he's only has 1 year left on his deal at $3.25 million, but that is perfect for the Edmonton Oilers, because they get out this $3.25 million off their books, then they will have Cody Ceci gone, and they will have that $325,000 off their cap, which would put them under the $88 million salary cap, and they would have room to then sign their RFAs, after trading Cody Ceci. And you know what, you're probably asking, what could you get for Cody Ceci? And we're going to take a look at this guy's stats here. Over the last season, Cody Ceci got into 79 games for the Edmonton Oilers, averaging 20 minutes time on ice. He's 6'2", at the age of 30, had 91 hits and 106 blocks, but also put up 25 points on the board, 20 assists, and 5 goals. And he had 25 takeaways as well, so Cody Ceci has been that guy where, you know, he can have a big shot from the blue line. Sometimes it might not hit the net like his days in Toronto, but he's not afraid to shoot. He's a great on the defensive side of the puck. He's a great, probably second pairing, maybe third pairing on a contending team's blue line, and could really help, shore up a contending team's blue line, or a team that is looking to contend. And recently, earlier today, we actually talked about how Steve Yzerman and the Red Wings were looking for at getting Jacob Trouba. So maybe they go for a backup plan here and go after Cody Ceci. This is a team that I think is going to be involved maybe on trade talks if his name gets thrown out there in the market. And there are a number of other teams too that, are right on the edge of that playoffs that need to just have a couple of more key pieces to propel them into, contention. And Ottawa's another team I'm looking at here. There's a number of teams that are floating around in my head right now, but it has to happen. Like, there's no doubt about it that Cody Ceci has to be traded. And it's not because he's playing bad. I think he's playing pretty solid, if I'm being honest. He stepped up his game in the playoffs. He had a decent regular season, and he's just an all-around good defensive defenseman, and a lot of teams are looking for this, and the defensive market isn't as good as it was last season. I mean, a lot of the big names are off the board. We got Tanev, Zadorov, and even like Pesci, guys like this are already off the board and signed with teams, so they're going to have to look, if a team is looking to add a defenseman, they're going to have to look at trading for somebody. And Cody Ceci's name is one that I think is going to be put out there very soon, because they need to let somebody go, unfortunately. They need cap space. They need to sign these RFAs. They need to get under the cap. And it just looks like right now Cody Ceci is that odd man out. There is a number of people talking about Evander Kane, but I think you got more value in trading out Cody Ceci in return than you would get in return for Evander Kane, because he has a higher cap hit. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts, Edmonton Oilers fans. Let me know down below. Would you be fine with getting rid of Ceci to bring back these two RFAs, or would you rather see Evander Kane go? Love to see your guys' comments on that. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Nick Robertson staying in the six. And yes, we had a major report just last week saying that Nick Robertson is most likely going to be staying in Toronto. But today, we kind of got a follow-up update on that from Nick Alberga, a former Sportsnet reporter, now host of Leafs Morning Take, where he went on to say here that by all accounts, the 2019 second rounder wants out because he's looking for an upstick in playing time. He said, well, Sheldon Keefe is gone and Craig Berube is now in charge. In the grand scheme of things, it would make a lot of sense for Robertson to get significant look with the big boys in the top six. And we did see, a comment from Brad Schliving that we also reported on, where he went on to say that, we're not looking to trade Nick. Nick's going to be a key piece for us. He's only 22 years old. He has a bright future. It just seemed like Sheldon Keefe couldn't find the right fit within the lineup for him. But I think under Craig Berube, he is going to be the perfect fit for this Toronto Maple Leafs team. They're still in need of a third line left wing. Not saying maybe that could be Nick Robertson, but I think if you put Nick Robertson up here on this second line with John Tavares, William Nylander, John Tavares, Mitch Marner, whoever it is, put him on that left side. This guy has one of the best shots in the league, but from what we've heard from the best goal scorer in the league, Austin Matthews, he just needs to tap into that and get a stretch of games where he can show that he deserves to be on this team, and it shows that he deserves to get this amount of ice time every night. I think under Craig Berube, this guy's really going to excel. He's fast. He has a great shot. When you have a guy like William Nylander, Mitch Marner, or John Tavares on your line, it's really going to help your production get up there a lot. And I think he's still young. He still has a lot of time to grow here, and he is definitely the perfect fit for this Berube Leafs team. They also went on to say here in this article, he said, in the grand scheme of things, there's no point in forcing a trade. Furthermore, they're probably still scouring the market for a similar player, so why not give Robertson another look and reassess the situation at a later date, probably around the trade deadline. If they get Nick Robertson in, it's not looking great, not looking like it's going to be a successful thing for Toronto, then maybe that's when they go look and see if they can get a trade for Nick Robertson. And I don't think right now is the right time. Yes, I understand that he's upset. He wants to be playing, but we got a new coach. We got new players brought in. They have a hole in the lineup for you. So if you can go out in training camp in the preseason and show that you're a better player than maybe an Easton Cowan who is fighting at getting that spot, then I think he will make that spot. And I think, putting him on that second line, maybe moving Matthew Nyes down to the third with Max Domi could be a really great option for Craig Berube. And I'm really excited to see what this new look Leafs team is going to be like with Berube behind the bench. And having Nick Robertson there is just going to be a big start in that as well. They also went on to say in this article, it's just because Nick Robertson has requested a trade, it doesn't mean that the Leafs should be inclined to do anything at all. He says, in fact, at the point, it would be in their best interest to keep the 22-year-old winger around indefinitely. And I definitely have to agree with this. I mean, if we go into his stats here, 56 games he got into last season where he had 27 points, 14 goals, 13 assists, and he was averaging only 11 minutes time on ice. And like I said, under this new coach, under Craig Berube, he's going to be getting into more games and going to be putting himself in better situations, in my opinion. He might even find himself on that second power play unit if he is scoring goals at a rapid pace, and I think it's only about time for this guy to break out, have a breakout season. And why wouldn't you want to see him have a breakout season in Toronto? It makes perfect sense. If Brad Schlieving's saying he wants to keep you around, then he's seen something in this guy, and I think a lot of Leafs fans are going to see that as well when Nick Robertson gets into this lineup at the beginning of the season. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think? Do you think they should keep Nick Robertson around? Would you like to see him on that second line, on that third line? Where would you put him in this lineup? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Bron Snake. He says, 4,000, great job, fellers. Ding, ding, ding. Shout out to you, Bron Snake. We see you down in the comment section all below all the time. Showing your support means a lot to us. And we see all you guys down there leaving your comments. I want you guys to leave a comment on this video. Just let me know about anything we talked about today, where you're watching from. Love seeing where you guys are tuned in from all across Canada and all across the world. You might be featured on the next comment today. If you enjoyed this video, hit sure down below, hit that like button. It helps push these videos out to all the hockey fans on YouTube. And subscribe to the channel. We're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here by the end of the summer, so I really appreciate it if you went down below and hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to check out a video myself and Mark did earlier, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.